Hello there, I'm Neil, also known as the Hairy Man, and I'm going to talk to you today about some more calls in Empire. These will be magic calls that are often used offensively, so it may be somewhat ironic that I'm talking to you today if any of you have met my character at Empire, in that I'm very, very anti the use of magic, but we'll continue. So the four calls I'm going to talk to you about today are Entangle, Paralyze, Repel and Shatter. Now, in order to make these calls, you must have purchased the Magician skill for 2 skill points, and you will have had to have purchased extra spell to get each of the particular spells that I'm talking about today. So if you wanted to do all 4 spells that I'm talking about today, then you would have to have spent 2 points on magic use, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 points on each of the other spells, for a total of 6. To activate each spell, you're also going to need to cast it through an implement, be that an 18-inch wand, up to 18-inch wand, a up to 42-inch rod, or an up to 84-inch staff. However, if you want to use a staff, then you will need to buy the Battle Mage skill, which costs another 2 points. So activating each spell requires you to do a short phrase of appropriate roleplay, so I leave that up to you as to how you want to interpret that. You must then expend the mana. Now, this is either from your personal mana, for which you get 4 points every day, or it can be from crystal mana, which is the mana that is in crystal form, surprisingly enough, that you get from having a mana site as what is referred to as your personal resource. So, casting the spell, you expend the appropriate amount of mana to cast it. You do your appropriate roleplay, and then you strike a blow with whichever implement that you're going to use. And this blow will also have the added extra bonus of inflicting 1 global hit of damage onto the person that you are striking. And in these cases, if the target does not appear to have taken the call, then you haven't wasted the mana, which is always nice. Your spells are not prevented by being hit, so you can afford to go in and take a hit on the way and your spell will still take effect. But one of the things that you have to bear in mind is that if the arm you are using to wield the implement is affected by, say, a cleave or an impale, then you wouldn't be able to use that arm to deliver the spell. So if you've got a rod in one hand and you go to strike and they cleave your arm before you've managed to hit them, that spell wouldn't go off. And again, if you are cleaved or impaled in the arm and you're using a staff, you won't be able to use it because it requires 2 hands to use. You can't wear armour as a mage, obviously, so you can't prevent those calls from working by wearing medium or heavy armour. The only armour you can wear as a mage is either a helmet, or you can wear mage armour as part of the Battle Mage skill. This gives you another 2 extra hits, but it still won't prevent any of those other special calls from working on you. So let's go ahead and look at each particular call in detail. So let's start with the Entangle spell. The Entangle spell costs 1 mana to cast, which can again be either crystal mana or it can be your personal mana. When you hit the target with this spell, it binds their feet to the floor for 10 seconds. They cannot move from that spot. Now, it doesn't prevent them from moving any other part of their body, and they can continue to fight, they can cast spells, take potions, or scold you for using magic against them. Once that 10-second count is up, they can move again. And even if they parry the blow with a weapon or a shield, this is still going to affect them. And no amount of armour, be that light, medium, heavy or mage armour, is going to prevent this call from working. So let's move on to Repel. Now Repel is probably one of the most misunderstood calls and misinterpreted calls in the system, so I'll try to be as clear as I can about it. It costs 1 mana a cast, either from personal mana or from crystal mana. When struck, your target must move 20 feet away from you, or move away for 10 seconds at a brisk walk, whichever comes first. If you are repelled into an immovable object, such as a wall or a tree, then you remain pressed against that object for the remainder of that spell's 10-second duration. And during that time, you cannot take any other actions. You can speak, you can shout, but you can't parry blows, you can't drink a potion, you can't cast a spell or anything like that. And again, doesn't matter if you parry it with a weapon or a shield, it will still take effect. The only difference being is if you parry it, then you will not take the 1 global hit of damage. And again, no amount of armour is going to stop that. Now, you can hold on to an immovable object such as a tree to prevent yourself from moving. And so if you happen to be going past a tree, you can grab hold of that tree, and then you can spend the remainder of the 10 seconds holding on to that tree. But you can't grab the person next to you, and they can't grab you to prevent you from being repelled. If you're in a big line of fighters, as they can't hold you, and you should be able to move back through the ranks, or maybe even consider being pushed off to the side if you can't get back easily. Just remember that during the time you're being repelled, you can't defend yourself, so you can't just sort of like walk away parrying blows that other people are raining down on you. So I hope that's reasonably clear. So moving on, we're looking at Paralysis. Now Paralysis, it costs 2 points of mana to cast, and again that can be personal mana or crystal mana, and it has the very potent effect of holding you immobile for a count of 10 seconds. Now this effect isn't broken by being hit, but while you are paralysed, you can scream and shout. So this isn't sort of like an assassination and kind of ability where it stops you from being able to go help, but unlike the other calls, this will not affect you if you block or parry. So during the 10 seconds, you can, as I say, you can talk, scream and shout. You can even be fed a potion if you're willing, but you can't do anything else for that 10 seconds. And being struck does not break the spell, and no amount of armour prevents it. Okay, moving on to Shatter. Again, this is a 2 mana spell and can be of crystal mana or from your personal mana. Now, the effect of this is it will render useless any weapon, implement or shield that it strikes. It doesn't break armour, you can't use it to break open gates, doors, or smash open chests or break tables or anything like that. So what you should do is you should either drop or stop using the item that has been struck. And if the item grants you any ability other than the ability for the item to repair itself, then you're unable to use that item's ability until it is repaired. So if you, say for example, have a magical sword that allows you to do cleave once per day, while that is broken, you can't use the ability to call cleave once per day until that item is mended. There are other calls that can be made by a magic user, and I'll hopefully be able to cover those in a future video. So I hope this video was helpful to you, so please consider liking or subscribing, as this is going to help me to grow my channel. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again.